Yo, what is up, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. And today, as you see by the title, we're gonna be predicting the NBA playoffs, and this might only be the West strictly because this video, in the process of already trying to edit this down, it is a very, very long video, and I don't have the subscribers or the viewers to stay consistently throughout the video. I'm not sure, so I'm gonna try to separate in two parts if this video gets too long. But the first matchup I want to talk about, as you see on the screen, is Lakers versus Rockets. And I have the Rockets winning in the first round. In five, maybe six games, depending if Luka comes back. I just saw a report today that says Reeves is likely to miss the entire first round. And I do not see the Lakers advancing at all without Reeves or Luka. Basically, we've seen this Lakers team without those three. And it's not that good of a Lakers team, right? They're pretty much going to rely on 41-year-old Braun to carry them. I like Luke Kennard there in the supporting cast. I don't like DeAndre Ayton to be consistent for 7 games. I just don't. And I don't trust Jackson Hayes to guard Sengun. He plays with a lot more effort. I maybe would like him over DeAndre. DeAndre's been playing great ever since he accepted that he is not a number one option player, but I don't trust him to be consistent for 7 games straight. To have that hustle that the Rockets play with. The Rockets play with a lot of hustle, a lot of heart. Yeah, the team has its flaws, as in 3-point shooting, Sengun's defending, anything. So, but going into this matchup, I do like them better. I like them to out rebound, out hustle, and I don't see anyone on the floor that can guard KD right now, and I don't see anyone on the floor that can guard Sengun. And Reed Shepard coming into his own. We're gonna need to see this in the playoffs, being his first year, playing in the playoffs. Because I don't think he played last year, if I'm trying to remember correctly, of that playoff series. This is gonna be a pretty good game. I do believe the Rockets win in five though. So that's just my take. We're gonna move on to the second round. And then this next round, for the first round, we got Nuggets versus Wolves. Now this one, I'm gonna ride with the Nuggets. But if you pick the Timberwolves, I would not be mad. The Timberwolves are a team literally designed to beat the Nuggets. Our team that's forced Jokic to do everything to try to limit other players from doing things. We're gonna see how Cam Johnson does in the playoffs. First time in the playoffs since the Phoenix days, because he ended up getting traded to Brooklyn, not doing much. So we're gonna see how he does. I do trust the Nuggets to seal this one now. I'm always gonna ride with the Nuggets when you got one of the best players in the world, one or two, depending who you put, him or SGA. I have the Nuggets in seven. Nuggets in seven. But if you were to pick the Timberwolves, I wouldn't be mad at you. They always play hard fought games. If I'm not mistaken, this is their third or fourth time meeting up in the playoffs, and every time they play, it's cinema. And if everyone is healthy in this game, I do see this going to 7 games. I really do. Now it's always going to come down to how the Timberwolves play, how Julius Randle and Ant are going to play together this season versus a team like this, which they've been fine this season. So I'm liking this matchup here. I think this is a game where, you can't pick one right winner because, stats could say this, but the Wolves always play their hardest against the Nuggets, and it's one of the best rivalries in the league. And but for this specific thing, I have the Nuggets winning and going into the second round. Into our round two matchup, we have the Nuggets versus Spurs. If didn't make it clear, I have Spurs beating whoever's in the play-in. Whoever plays them, whoever wins it, they can't beat the Spurs. But in this one right here, I have the Nuggets winning. And for me, this one's gonna come down to experience. The only real person with experience on the Spurs roster in playoffs is De'Aaron Fox and Harrison Barnes for when he played with Golden State and all that. Championship experience. De'Aaron Fox had his playoff experience when he was in Sacramento, when he also won the Clutch Player of the Year. I know he's having his downs right now, especially ending the season. If y'all just saw that clip where they played the Nuggets, actually, if I'm not mistaken, he missed 3 straight open threes, wasting a lot of time off the clock for that. And ended up, having a what could have happened if he would have hit that three, what was going on. I do think this is going to come down to experience, and I'm going to take the Nuggets here, but I do think it's going to be a great game. You have someone like Stephon Castle, who I think should be on All NBA, either first or second team, either one where you want to put him. I think he's been playing great defense. He takes his assignments and he sticks with them, as you saw all year, him lining up against players like Kate Cunningham and stuff. So I'm strictly going to pick the Nuggets here based off experience, which I think plays a lot into it. last year you almost saw OKC lose to the Nuggets strictly because the experience part where, there was in game one, the OKC coach didn't call the timeout, and Aaron Gordon was able, or they had SJ also inbound the pass. Aaron Gordon was able to go down, hit that clutch shot, and he had like multiple game winners that series, if I'm not mistaken. So when it's gonna come down to experience, I'm gonna pick the Nuggets here strictly because of that, and I'm gonna have the Nuggets win in 6. So if you pick the Spurs, please let me know why. But for right now, I'm gonna take Jokic and the Nuggets to advance to the Western Conference Finals. And then getting to round 2 for the playoffs here, I'm going with the Thunder beating the Rockets in about 5 to 6 games. I'm gonna say 5. Rockets could push it to 6 at home. They played this year, if y'all remember the first game of the season, a great matchup, got into overtime. The SGAs and the Thunder also did that without J-Dub. They've been pretty good this year without missing their 2 best players. If the Thunder are fully healthy, they're one of the most unstoppable teams in the league. I understand that, people get annoyed with someone like Lu Dort, who's a good defender, but he plays dirty. We're going to agree with that, right? So I understand where the hate comes from, but this team is still a pretty good team. They have SGA, who's a great closer, who's probably going to win clutch player of the year, who he is my clutch player of the year this year. You have players like that on this team. You have Cason Wallace around there, J-Dub, who was just like an all-star last year. If I'm not mistaken, All-NBA last year, or All-NBA defensive team last year. So we're looking at a team matching up against the Rockets who struggle with shooting, who Sengun sometimes locks on tunnel vision. If he's having a bad game, he tries to flop, doesn't get the call, starts arguing, starts whining. We're looking at KD, who could have a good game here, who's fine seeing the one-on-one, but we just need to see how this will specifically play out with, this Rockets team. What lineups Ime's going to run, because he loves the double big, especially in the playoffs like last year. Steven Adams could potentially return by the second round, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot to look forward to specifically for this round, but I have the Thunder in 5. Maybe 6, the Rockets could win another one at home, but I have the Thunder advancing to the Western Conference Finals. And for the Western Conference Finals, I have the Nuggets versus OKC. This game will be great. This will be a great game. You have the bad blood between these two teams. They do not like each other. Don't care what the press say, anything. You know how they feel about Dort. You know how they feel about SGA. You know how the team feels about Jokic. This is going to be a good series. Last year went to 7 games. Unfortunately, game 7, the Thunder ended up winning 125-93. The Nuggets are my pick to win. I'm not going to count out a team with Jokic. They also had SGA. But last year, if you remember, game 7 wasn't the best game, right? Jokic and Murray were the only ones to get in double figures for points. Oh, and Christian Braun too. Murray shot 6 for 16, 1 for 8 from the 3, but Braun shot 2 for 8 from the 3. Other than that, Jokic had finished with 20 points that game, Braun 19, and Jamal Murray 13. But on the OKC side for the starters, man, you had Hartenstein with 10 and 7, Chet with 13 and 11, SJ, who ended up putting the team on his back with 35. And then you had J-Dub, who had 24, and Cruz off the bench had 11 with no turnovers. This was a great game for the team that ended up getting them to the finals, and this is what's going to come down to. It's going to come down to how they play against Jokic. It's also going to come down to the supporting cast for the Nuggets if they want to beat this Thunder team. As we've seen, the Thunder have been able to beat the Nuggets all year. They've gotten the best of Jokic. They've gotten him at one point emotional, like where he was grabbing on Jalen Williams' jersey, looking crazy. If y'all saw that, I'm pretty sure y'all did if y'all watch basketball. It's the supporting cast the Thunder have is great, and honestly, I don't know how you can't pick against them. I personally want the Nuggets to win. Okay, if I'm being honest, like my personal bias, I want the Nuggets to win in about 6. I have the OKC Thunder advancing to the NBA Finals in 6 games over the Denver Nuggets. Maybe 7. I'm gonna be honest, playing in Denver, I do think the Nuggets won't lose a game there. I'm gonna go ahead and say 7. I'm gonna go ahead and say 7. But I would probably stick with 6 because the Nuggets will be coming off a very tough game against the Spurs. And then they also have the the Timberwolves in the first round. So, you got someone like the Thunder who probably could end up playing, Golden State first round, sweeping them completely. I 100% believe that. Then you got them playing the Rockets, who like I said, I have them beating us in 5 or maybe even 6. And then you go, and then your toughest matchup will be the Nuggets, who've already had two bloodbaths with 2 different teams. I think that's where the energy, the rest is going to catch up with the Nuggets, and I'm going to pick the OKC Thunder to advance to the NBA Finals. And this video is getting kind of long, especially since I don't have like a dedicated following to go ahead and start predicting the Eastern Conference. So I'm going to drop the Eastern Conference tomorrow. But if y'all like the video, like anything in it, y'all go ahead and like, subscribe. I'm really trying to grow this channel. I know I'm mainly do basketball, but I know football season's coming around. I am a very big baseball guy. If y'all like to see baseball, as I'm making this video, the Yankees just won off an wild pitch, 10-10 in the bottom of the ninth. It was a good game. Mike Trout, both Aaron Judge hit 2 home runs. I'm getting off topic from basketball, but I do like sports in general. So if y'all want to see more sports after the NBA playoffs, like, subscribe. I'm gonna be dropping way more. I'm trying to be more consistent. But yeah, so thank you for watching.